Hi class, this is the screencast that I'm making right now. I hope will help give you an orientation to the class. And a good way to start the semester off is earning extra credit. And so viewing the screencast will also help you to prepare for the extra credit quiz that you can take after watching this. Now, I assume you know how to get into the Blackboard site for the class because you're watching this screencast. One tip, as you probably just started playing this, is if you look down in the lower right hand corner, you'll see an opposing arrow icon. If you click that, it'll make the presentation full screen and it'll be a lot easier for you to see. Now, I'd recommend that before you log into your into Blackboard, or if you're in now, log out later on, and do test your browser. It's right up here. And what Test Your Browser does is it does a self-diagnosis of your computer, and if there are any issues that you need to correct, it will tell you, and it'll walk you through the process of making those corrections to get all your settings right so that Blackboard will be fully functional. You can see here on my computer that it's telling me to check my browser compatibility and also check Java to be sure that's updated. By the way, the application we use for our live chats called Blackboard Collaborate runs on a Java platform, so be sure that your Java is updated to the latest version. So that'll save you a lot of trouble. By the way, another thing about Blackboard Collaborate, that what we'll use for the live chat, for the first class, in fact, is that if that application does not run, or at least I've never been able to make it work in Microsoft Explorer. So I don't recommend using Microsoft Explorer at all for using Blackboard. Some features of Blackboard, it seems, just don't work. So I recommend using Firefox, Mozilla Firefox, which is a free download. You can go online and get that. Or I'd recommend it if you're using a Macintosh product or Apple to use Safari, and you should be fine. I've never had any problem with Safari or with Firefox. And I have Mac computers at home, so I use both PCs and Macs. All right, let's back up now. Another thing here is there's some useful things here like the Blackboard tutorial. If you're new to using Blackboard, using safe assignments, which is a plagiarism checker. It makes me really sad to have to use that for a Christian ministry class, but I've actually detected major plagiarism in students since I started using it. One in particular was a little humorous. A student was in a big hurry to submit an assignment and went on to a website that had a commentary of 1 Timothy, and when I started looking at it, it looked funny, and I followed it back in safe assignments to see where it came from, and in fact it came from a Satanist website. It was a satanic commentary on 1 Timothy, so I guess I shouldn't laugh. It's not really funny, but I have to find some humor in things. Okay, on down, you'll see there's live chat available if you have problems with Blackboard. This is a 24/7 operation. There's a help request form here you can fill out, or you can call this number and get live help on the phone. At the very bottom of the screen here are some notes from our virtual campus people. If you can't see your course online and some other issues, you will read through those notes to be sure that you got that straight. If you don't have a textbook for the class and you need it quickly, the textbook for the class is available through Kindle, and I have no problem if you want to order it through there. If you're okay with not having a hard copy book, it's a good way to do it, and it's lighter to carry around. Okay, I'm going to log into the website now, or into Blackboard rather. And if you're wondering, I have changed my password from the default, so you can't log into the website and change your own grades. I can't do two things at once. I can't talk and type at the same time. Okay. Now we are logged in. Now, if you're new to Blackboard and you would like to change your password from the default, then if you click here on personal information, there's a link here to change your password. You click right there to do that. There's some other information down here on changing personal settings. But if you go back one screen and go right here to personalize page, if you don't like the color setup for, you can always choose something different if you don't like the default. I like green, so I set mine up to be green. I find that very pleasing. But there's some good pastel color schemes there you can use too. Looks like one of my friends just logged onto Skype, but I don't want to talk to you, Mike. Okay. Another thing is that if you get tired of seeing all the courses you've ever taken at Wayland appearing on the page here, you can go here to this little cog wheel up in the corner of My Courses, and if you click it, it will show you all the classes you've taken. And if you don't want to see a class, you just go down to the class that you don't want to see anymore, and you click it, and it goes away. Now, it doesn't mean that you will never be able to see it again. It's still there. But you have two views. One is My WBU right here, shows you the courses you're in this term, and you can uncheck everything you're not in. If you want to go back to old courses you've done, they're all listed here under courses. And there's a whole bunch here for me because I've taught a whole lot of classes. All right, now let's actually go into the Blackboard site for our class. And as we go in here, you'll see a picture here. This is my family. Last summer we were in La Jolla Cove, north of San Diego, and we went sea kayaking that day and went to some sea caves. It was great fun. That's my son Hayden there on the end. Then Eleanor, my redhead daughter, there next to him. My wife Heather, and me. My wife is a neonatal ICU nurse, and she also does woodworking. Okay, the course is organized over here. You can see announcements, instructor information that gives my contact information. If you're outside the U.S., it also gives my Skype name if you want to visit with me that way to have a video chat. It also gives my boss's name, Dr. Paul Sadler, who is the Dean of the School of Religion and Philosophy. I would ask, if you're not pleased about something in the course, that you would come to me first so we can try to settle that between us before you go over my head to Dr. Sadler. Also, a little bit more about me is there under the professor bio. The syllabus is there. And then the course will be organized around the assignment tab. So if we click in here, you'll see that for each week there's a folder. And February 24th through March 1st, it gives you everything you're supposed to be doing during the first week. And you also see that our first class meeting is not a discussion board. It's actually a live chat session Wednesday, February 26th at 10 p.m. Central. So wherever you are in the world, figure out what time that is for you. But it's 10 p.m. Central. So this screencast will be in there after I make it. And also the extra credit quiz. And remember that this screencast helps prepare you for the extra credit quiz. And so it's a great way to start the term by getting extra points and learning about the class. My son just walked by and waved at me. Okay, let's go into this tab right down here, which is the Wayland Library. We have lots of great resources available to you through our library. And there's something I want you to do, because I want you to encourage you to do research and to read new things. There's some really wonderful ministers that are very popular in the U.S. right now. Chuck Swindoll is one. John MacArthur is another. And then there are, the other one is Warren Wiersbe. He's written a lot of easy to read commentaries. I like all three of these men. I've listened to them and read their work. But this class is a senior level course, and I want to encourage you to read. And so I don't want to see any references to John MacArthur, Chuck Swindoll, or Warren Wiersbe on your reference page or in your paper. Not that I don't like them, it's just that I want you to read something other than the things that are on your shelf. And there's lots of stuff out there. No excuses for not finding anything. So let's look at some features here. One is for distance students. If you are away from the Plainview campus, and I know some of you are, I think, Ashley, you're probably the furthest away in Kenya. There's some information here that might be helpful to you. You can request materials. Requesting a book might be hard if you're out of the country, but requesting an article is doable because they can scan it and send it to you as a PDF. And then there's also a toll-free number you can call to get help from our distance librarians there who work for you. They are part of your tuition dollars if you're away from the Plainview campus, and they want to help you. And so we certainly encourage you to avail yourself of their help. If you're one of those people that doesn't like to ask directions when you're lost, try to overcome that when you do library research. I found that about 15 minutes with a reference librarian, or even sending an email to the librarian asking for help, is worth about 8 hours on my own. So ask for help. Okay, let's back up. And now we're going to go to Ask a Librarian. And here you can put in your name, student ID, email, ask your questions, and then normally we'll respond within 24 hours. There's also tutorials here for different things, and an intro to using the library website. Probably not as good as mine, but you can look at it. Okay. There are books and more. And if you're outside of Plainview, EBSCO ebooks will be a helpful thing for you. So let's go in there and take a look. We're acquiring new electronic books all the time. So I encourage you to check this out. Now, when you click into this, because not just anyone can get into this database, it will ask you for your Easy Proxy account login information. And the username is your student ID number. The password is the first three letters of your first name followed by the first three letters of your last name, all lowercase and no spaces. So let's log in now. And hopefully it won't take too long. The nice thing about electronic books is that they are available 24/7. You don't have to worry about showing up to the library at the right time or showing up when it's closed. It's always there. The other nice thing is that their text is searchable. Now you can't download these in full because that will violate copyright law. But you can, take notes, look at passages, and it's really nice. Now, before we look for a book, let me recommend this. Anytime you're in a database that is created by EBSCO, the EBSCO company, I would recommend that you sign in to make yourself an account. It's sort of like having an Amazon account. You can keep track of what you've done. And so if you click here, sign in. It will take me to a page, and if you don't already have an account, it will give you the option of creating an EBSCO account. And hopefully this will happen soon. And so I tried to make this really easy, so I just gave it the same login information I used for my Blackboard account. And I guess I'm doing it wrong. Oh my. Oh, well, okay. Obviously I'm doing something wrong there. I'm going to back out. I must be typing it in wrong, but I'm not going to waste your time by sitting there staring at your screen while I try to log in. Okay. So let's look for a book. Let's search here. And this just has the defaults of search field. But let's look for something in Christian philosophy. And I'm going to search for full text books. And you can check languages and that kind of thing. I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. And let's click search and see what we get. There's really been a revolution in library resources and their availability over the past, well, since I got my doctorate in 2001. It's amazing how quickly things have turned over. When I was in school, there was almost nothing available online, and now you can get nearly anything. This is my white cat. His name is Sunny, and when we do live chats, he will appear. He likes to be on camera, and yeah. So anyway, so we got 13 books here that have to do with Christian philosophy. And the second one here, let's just take a look at it. Development of ethics and historical and critical study. Let's click for the full text right here. Hello, kitty. Sometimes he looks at himself in the mirror too. I don't know if cats are self-aware, but he seems to be. Okay, that should be coming up soon. While it's doing that, doing its little thinking routine, I want to show you a couple of things, a few icons over here that may be useful to you. One, okay, cat. All right, so one is the citation icon. If you click there, it will show you how to, it has pre-formatted citations for this book in APA, MLA, Chicago Manual Style, which is what the Wayland Style Guide is based on. And so you would be doing Chicago Turabian Humanities. So that's what your bibliography entry looks like. So they've already formatted it for you, so it's kind of nice. And you can just copy and paste that. You can also email this article to yourself if you want to through that icon right there. If you're old like I am and you want to read a hard copy, you can print it, well, at least parts of it. You can also, if you're signed into your EBSCO account, you can actually bookmark the book and annotate it, make notes, and that will always be, those notes will always be attached to this source in your EBSCO account. So next semester, if you want to come back to it, it will still be there. So that's kind of a handy thing. Okay, now let's. All right, Kat, thank you. Okay, let's go back now to the book. And hopefully we'll see some text here. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. Let's back out of this one. I may have to edit this part of the presentation. Now let's go to the next one, the quest for meaning. And see if this one will pop up. Okay, here we go. So here is the text, and this is in PDF. And the nice thing about, of course, being in this kind of format is that you can search the whole text of the book. And so if you're looking for specific pieces of information, you can mine that very quickly. I think the problem here is that I have an Adobe problem, which is why this is not popping up. All right. So that's very handy, and that's EBSCO eBooks. So let's back out of this database. And now I want to go into articles and databases, or actually before I do that, I want to show you over here there are research guides, and there's one for religion and philosophy. And up here there's some tabs. One is to databases that the librarians have already vetted for you that are useful for religion and philosophy. I would like you to count the number of databases that are available, and that will be one of the extra credit quiz questions, or at least a possibility for one. And as you're counting them, actually look at them and see what's available. There's lots of stuff out there. Also, another thing that might be on the extra credit quiz are journals. So I want you to count the number of journals, and as you're doing that, look at the titles, see what is there. There's lots of stuff available. Same thing for useful websites. What possibility for what will be on the extra credit quiz are what's the number of useful websites. Let's just look at one. Let's look at ancient history, archaeology, and biblical studies. If you just go out on the web in general by yourself, you can get in trouble. But the nice thing is that these librarians have already done a lot of this stuff for you. So here we have, under this, ancient historians and generals. We have Julius Caesar. Let's just click into Julius Caesar, and we have all of Julius Caesar's war commentaries there. So that's just one example of the websites available to you with useful information. Okay, so the research guides are helpful. So let's go now back to the home page of the LRC. And a good place to start doing a search is just to go to simple search. So let's do Christian philosophy here. And do a search. And actually we can do limiters down here. It's often better because you can't, it's much better if you do peer-reviewed work to click peer-reviewed and full text. And then let's do our search and see how many hits we get. Now, the advantage of simple search is that you have a really good idea immediately of what's available in all of our library system. The downside is that it can be a little overwhelming. I suspect that we're going to get a lot of hits. I didn't do this ahead of time, so this is untested water. So we'll see how many hits we get. We're waiting for EBSCO to respond. It should not ask for my easy proxy login information again because I've already logged in once. Hello, cat. All right, well, it's cooking away. I'm going to go back over here. If you're in an area outside of Plainview where there's a local library, a lot of times if you go and you ask for a book or you request an article, they'll charge you for it. But one of the things for distance students is that part of your tuition dollars is that Wayland pays, not Wayland pays, it's included in your tuition, requesting a book or requesting an article through interlibrary loan. And the forms are right here. So if I click request an article, it gives me the form to fill out. And often they can get these to you pretty quickly. So I'd recommend using that. Also, if you want books and you're inside the U.S., the library in Plainview, the LRC, can send you the books and they will send them to you with return postage. So don't spend money if you've already paid for something. Okay, now we're back. As I suspected, we got 492,830 hits. That's a whole bunch. And if you're doing a research project and you enter your search terms and you get that many hits, that's a good indication you need to narrow your search a little bit. You see that our earliest year for this is 1834. In doing undergraduate research, we say that the window is 10 years, so let's move it up to 2004. I like the little slider thingy. There we go. The screen will go gray, it will update, and I suspect that our number will go down a bunch. Okay, about half. And we can continue doing this. A lot of the databases, for instance, if we go here, this is a full text journal article. Everything seems like it takes longer when I'm doing one of these videos. Come on, hurry! Well, when this does come up, if you look at all of the databases or the companies, EBSCO is one of the major ones, but not the only one, you'll see that all the interfaces are pretty similar in terms of how the search boxes are set up. And so I really want to encourage you to get into these and explore them. And this one doesn't seem to be working very well. Let's try something different. Okay, now it's going to work. Let's try the next one down. See if this one can pop up. It should do it. There we go. Okay. And so you can see the full text of the article is over here. And you have all those EBSCO things over here. So if you're signed into your account, you can attach notes to it. You can email it to yourself. So that EBSCO account is really an important thing to do to keep yourself organized. Okay, well, I think I've given you enough information. And it's really good to have you in the class. And I look forward to the term. If you have questions, please contact me. And I look forward to getting to know you better. Thanks. Bye.